No, live song.
Good evening and welcome you all for yet another episode, The Big Talk. When I say big talk, each of you are looking at personalities who have really contributed in the development of the nation. And no doubt about it, that today also we have a great multi-skilled personality in different areas. It's not just confined to one area, in different areas, serving the society for over 5 decades and still continue to service the society through various organizations and institutions in the God's own country, Kerala. Let me also tell you as to how the initial interaction with our chief guest, I will name him later, with our chief guest today, who is going to be with us for the next 60 minutes or little above that. When I spoke to him about this opportunity of coming live on the Big Talk organized by Amrita Vishwavidyapeetham from ETI, he immediately agreed and said, yes, I'm quite keen. And I said, why don't you send me your profile through email? I sent him my email ID. But then suddenly he called me up the next day and said, look, give me your address. I will send you my profile through courier or speed post. Then I was really surprised. I said, why is he not sending through email? And I said, okay, fine. I mean, I didn't want to ask him as to why is he asking me for my house address and then sending it through the speed post or the courier. I waited for 2, 3 days, 4 days, 5 days. It didn't land up. And suddenly I called his secretary. And then he said, sir, it's just reached Coimbatore and maybe you'll get it by tomorrow. So I waited for his profile and next day it landed up to my house. And generally, I think I really, I don't know what to say. I was really shocked. I said, what is this? Did I ask him to send a book which he wrote? And he's written more than 20 such books in different fields. And I didn't ask him for the book. But then when I opened, it, I saw that this is the book, a journey of 50 years and above. And I mind you, I just went through that and a bit of a difficulty in reading Malayalam because I had my education only up to my 6th standard in Kerala. Beyond that, I went and joined Kendriya Vidyalaya. So, but still, I read, and let me tell you, my dear viewers, that he is a multifaceted personality and he means his business. And I've seen many people, right, focused into one area and excel himself or herself in that particular area. But here we have with us today, when I say doctor, right, when I bring in doctors, you all would sometimes get confused between doctor, a research scholar, and a medical doctor. Here you need not get confused at all. When I say Dr. V.K. Jayakumar, you can think either way, medical doctor or a research scholar. So that's number one. So he's a medical doctor, right? He's still continuing to treat patients. And secondly, he has also done his research, right? Research on to something connected with parenting, if I'm right, if my memory is right. And so both sides is right. And when I went deeper into his profile, there are very few people who have contributed towards the development of any nation. When you look at the contribution towards nation, and today we need two critical, crucial, and most important area is health. Not because of COVID-19, but if you look at the number of infant death mortality in our country, it's too much beyond anyone's imagination. So health is one, and that must be followed by education. And here we have with us, I keep talking about here we have here with us Dr. V.K. Jayakumar, right? Who is a doctor as well as an educationalist. So health and education together We need such Dr. Jayakumars in our country more and more, and I pray that my prayers are heard well by the Almighty and create and develop such great personalities who would build the nation to much higher heights than what we are today. I would like to start off reading because I generally when I moderate a session, I by heart it and I talk by not reading. But here is where I totally failed, sir. There is no way I can by heart and then contribute towards your profile, but it's absolutely worth reading his profile, even if it takes 5 minutes or 10 minutes, because my viewers must know to whom you are going to listen for the next 60 minutes. So let me start off. I'll use this book. Dr. V.K. Jayakumar is a committed social worker and philanthropist, is people-friendly general physician, an ardent educationalist, CBSE approved principal of Sabri English School Anchal for long, and the school is 42 years, right? More than 4 decades. And I was just having a chat with Sir before we came on live, and he says he has produced wonderful children. And I was mentioning to him that one of his recent students, Sushri IPS, who is the assistant superintendent of police in Bhubaneswar, studied in his school, +1 and +2. And he mentioned that when the girl came for interview, he asked her a question, what do you want to be in life? And she said, look, sir, I want to be a civil servant. And he picked up a book on civil servant and gave it to that particular girl. And today she is the youngest and she cleared UPSC in the first attempt, right? In the first attempts where people go up to the 6th attempt, 32 years, sometimes they clear. Wonderful. I think let's give a big hand to Sabri English School for bringing in so many worthful, talented students as true and better citizens of our country. It goes on. So, I am sure each of you have time. The employer of 500 people benefiting their families directly and hundreds indirectly. Chief Medical Officer, Sabarigiri Multi-Speciality Hospital, Anchal. Chairman, Sabarigiri Educational and Cultural Society. Chairman and Senior Principal, Sabarigiri Group of Schools. Manager, Sabarigiri College of Education, Anchal. Director, Sabarigiri Institute of Allied Medical Sciences, Anchal. A Malayalam poet, wonderful, from a doctor to a poet, my God, who has published more than 80 poems. Author of 20 books in English and Malayalam. Patron, Kerala State CBSE Schools Management Association. And Kerala has the highest number of CBSE schools, over 1,400 schools in Kerala, right? Worked as state president of the Kerala Recognized Schools Management Association for 30 years. Founder, Benat Sahodaya Complex. Director, Shanti Kendra, a social, cultural and charitable organization. Then President, Guru Dharma Pracharana Sabha, Punalur. Chief Patron, Kerala Road Ball Association. Patron, Dr. Palpu Foundation, Trivandrum. Patron of 2 orphanages. Progressive Melvin Jones Fellow, Lions Club International for helping the blind people all over the world. Past Region Chairman, Lions Club International, 3188 District. Past President, COG. Past President, IMA Anchal. Family, Student and Marital Counselor. Teacher Trainer. Inspiring Teacher and Motivator. Women Empowerment Promoter. Personality and Leadership Trainer and Orator. Sir, it goes on. And as I sometimes say to people, we also heard in English, jack of all trades, rest you know what it is. But in your case, you're jack of all trades and master of everything. That is fantastic. Jack of all trade and master of everything is a fantastic word which suits you right now, reading all whatever positions you held. That's number 1. Number 2, sir, I always put on time management. The most busiest man in this world has the maximum time to spare. I repeat, the most busiest man in this world has the maximum time to spare. If somebody asks you a question, sir, where do you find time? That's a wrong question to you, because you are the most busiest man doing so much of having so much of commitments and doing varieties of services, I think you have enough time because you are the most busiest man and you respect value time. So, sir, I don't know how to express our gratitude to you for sparing your valuable time with us, enlarging the horizons of social service to the society, to the nation. And, sir, big salute to you. And my first question to you, sir. Welcome on behalf of Amrita Vishwavidyapeetham. Thank you so much once again for being with us. And my first question to you, sir. Where did you complete your schooling? And where did you do your PUC or PDC? Then what really triggered you to be a doctor? And from then on, in which specialization are you in? So these are the questions to start off. Over to you, sir. Vanakkam, Vandanam, Swagadam. Over to you, sir.
First of all, my pranam to Amma. Anyway, thank you very much for giving me an opportunity to interact with educators, students, and parents. It's a very interesting occasion, and I think I'll be able to convey at least a few points which is going to be useful to them. Now, see, I hail from a place, Cherengil. I was born in Cherengil, in Trivandrum district. And I had my early schooling in Cherengil and in Trivandrum, primary. Then I finished my high school from Cherengil itself, from the Cherengil High School. Then my father admitted me to Mariva News College. That time it was not pre-degree, it was pre-university. So I joined that one-year course with a medical group. That is that time, even in pre-university, we could choose subjects. And after pre-university, I continued there and I took chemistry, BSc in chemistry degree. And then luckily I got admitted to Trivandrum Medical College for MBBS. And I had a very fine time in Trivandrum Medical College. My alma mater is, I am so much attached to that. And the most happy thing is that, see, after 50 years, Trivandrum Medical College Alumni Association has selected me as a distinguished alumni of Trivandrum Medical College. And they gave an award by our governor, Arif Mohammed, His Excellency. So that was a great achievement of mine, because from my alma mater, I got an award. That was something great. So anyway, after that, after passing my MBBS, I think I joined in 65 and I passed out in 70. 71 I completed House ENC, and the day I got my MBBS registration degree, I thought I will have a hospital of my own in a place where there is no hospital. So I just went to the Tambanur bus station and took a ticket to Malappuram, and I was watching the places on either side. But by the time I crossed Chertale, a place called Kuttiyathodu. It's a place where a lot of water bodies, and I liked that place, and it was thickly populated. I got down and I approached one person there, one LIC agent. I went to him, said that I am a new doctor from Trivandrum Medical College, hatched out this week. Can you help me in organizing a hospital in that place? He was very much thrilled, and there was no hospital in that locality at that time. And believe it or not, in 5 days' time, I organized a hospital there.
5 days?
5 days. 5 days time.
Oh,
because I got a building, I got some furniture, everything. 5th day, I inaugurated my Hospital was inaugurated by my boss, my dear boss, Dr. C.K. Govi, the then time cardiologist of Trivandrum Medical College, because I was his very dear student. He came and inaugurated the hospital, and I was there for 3 years. It is a wonderful time. I had a wonderful time there. Lot of people, because there's no medical facility. People, they used to go to Ernakulam from Kuttiyodod for better treatment. So I was there for 3 years. Then I got a PSC appointment. That time, the appointment order, the advice memo came to my hand. I didn't show it home because I was.
You'll be forced to go and join. Okay.
I was interested in my hospital.
Okay.
So I waited. After about 6 months, 3 months or so, another memo came that was received by my father.
He couldn't escape that.
He said, "What is it you're doing? Immediately go and join." I was posted to Malappuram.
Okay.
But I think somehow or other I could manage it to Kottarakara.
You got a transfer. You got a transfer to Kottarakara. Okay.
There I worked for 3-4 months. Then I was transferred to Anchal. So I came to this place.
Oh, that was the reason that you
settled
down in Anchal.
Anchal Government Hospital. And I was there for 7 years.
Oh.
As a family welfare medical officer. And it was a very fine time. I could do a lot of things. I was given award by the then Health Minister N.K. Balakrishnan as a best medical officer. The collector gave me cash award, and because I performed this vasectomy surgery for 110 people in a day.
Oh.
So for that I received
single-handedly you had
single day from morning to from 8 o'clock to 8 p.m. I could operate 110 people. That was a record.
My God.
And then of course after some time I was more of a gynecologist. That time we doctors used to take up all sorts of cases, or the gynecology, orthopedics, whatever it is. We are the only medical officer. So I was practicing gynecology for long. Then after some time, I thought government service, lot of limitations. You are not free to do things which you want to do. So I built a hospital next to this government hospital and got deputation to that hospital for 1 year. And after 1 year, I did not return to government service.
You continued in your own hospital.
Okay. Yeah, I left government service.
Okay, good.
And then I got married from somewhere here, got a child, girl child. She was 3 years, there was no school. It was a very, very remote area, only a forest office and some, it's not a developed place. Then I thought I approached the local people, and nobody was ready to start a school. Then I thought I'll myself build the cat, and I started a small KG class for my daughter with about 10 students. But to my surprise, it grew like anything. And as my child was crossing classes, the school also. And now we got our 2 schools, CBSE school as well as State Board school here in Anjali itself. And our school, my school is the first CBSE school in Kollam district.
First CBSE?
First CBSE school in Kollam district was our school. And then after that, a lot of social activities, a lot of things we are doing, and more one technology, lab technology, so many paramedical courses we started. Then we started a school in Punalur. That has become a senior secondary school now. Then there are more, I think 6 or 7 schools by now. And our last is the Trivandrum school, international school.
Okay.
But this Anjal school, this campus is the main campus. This is actually,
absolutely.
Yeah.
That is alma mater. That is actually the
See, the thing is,
it began there from there now.
The joy of bringing up children, it is something great. Because I think my talk is being listened by educators, students and parents.
Educators, students, Parents and teachers, of course. Teachers fall under educators.
Teachers.
You have principals,
So
you have
first I
educators.
First, I will address the educators. Educators, actually, you must know that you are nation builders. You are nation builders. Teachers and educators, they are nation builders, because it is up to you how the country is going to flourish. So, see, the thing is how we can transform an innocent child, young child, into a very, very useful citizen. See, human life is something, a gift from God. And a child under us who comes to us, we have to see that the child is transformed into a fine human being. Not only an academic degree holder, but he has to be a fine human being. That's the most important thing. How useful and how helpful he is to others. That is our philosophy. How can we transform a child to be a very, very useful and very, very helping citizen? So wherever the boy or girl, of course, as they become adults, they must be useful to others. That is our vision. So I think in that we could do a lot. We have been instrumental in developing many fine citizens who are doing wonderfully well all over the world. That's one thing. So education, actually offering education is not a business, it's a service. It's a divine service. Absolutely. And we have to take it in that sense. And we must develop certain habits in children. That is, the motto of our school is work, win with truth. So we must make them working person, very hardworking people who want to reach virtuous goals. That is the thing.
What is that? Work, win
with truth.
Work, win with truth. Okay, good.
Yeah,
good.
That's our motto.
Absolutely.
And we believe we make children, we make them work well. See, if a student, he has to study well, and as a student, he has to be very responsible to the family, parents, and of course to the society. So we often take children to the society. See, whenever there's a flood or whenever there's a natural calamity, we'll collect children, we'll go to that place and we'll do relief work.
Very good.
And not only that, see, when tsunami came in Kollam district, we were the first people with rescue there. So likewise, wherever there is any calamity, we will take our children there. And the other day, one lady with 2 daughters, she lost her house in monsoon. So I called the children. Come on, we'll go and see. I took the children there. Then I said, we will reconstruct the house. And we reconstructed the house, and they happily see. This is seen. I am involving children. So 1 kg child who was not taken to that place, upper kg child was asking me, sir, can I also come? So that was a really interested question. Likewise, then we have done a lot of and see patriotism. Our students must be patriotic. See, we made our children to make 3 statues of Mahatma Gandhi. Of course, I didn't collect any money from them. 3 statues are made. 1 statue is in the junction, Anchal Junction. There it is written, donated by the students of Sabarigiri school. And another 2 statues in 2 schools. So children are also taken to nationalism and patriotism and their love for their motherland. And every Independence Day, every Republic Day, children go there and garland Gandhi there. So public is seeing, small children are teaching the public how to worship our national leader, father of nation and all those things. So likewise, wherever we do, we want children to learn from our activities as to, and we have even otherwise we have a lot of social activities.
Absolutely, yeah. Sir,
let me talk something to teachers.
Yeah, please.
Teacher is the heart of the school. Teachers form the heart of the school. So teacher if the teacher is empowered, if the teacher empowerment is the main thing in every school, any school, simply appointing teachers and asking them to go and teach is not the thing. We have to empower them. Empower them. That is very, very much. There are many people, many good trainers. We have to get them and we have to give them training. So then naturally they'll produce better developing students. Subject wise, not only in bookish knowledge, but in other aspects also, in social service, in arts and all sorts of performance, yoga, everything. We want our children to be best. And our children, see, there was a Hug a Tree program. Students, there was a program by, I think, Asianet, hugging a tree by children. It was done in Trivandrum. But our school got a Guinness Prize for that. The maximum number of students who hugged the tree along with governor. So that sort of people, that sort of activities will definitely change the mindset of children. They'll become really patriotic, service-minded citizens in future. So teachers, a teacher has to have, even yesterday I interviewed 35 people for teacher post. See, the first question I asked to every teacher is, see, a teacher has to have many qualities. What is the first quality for a teacher? Naturally, they will say punctuality, subject knowledge, so many things. But finally, I will say the first and foremost quality of a teacher is his or her love and concern for the students sitting before.
Absolutely.
This is what I have to tell the teachers. See, there must be a sort of Atma Bandham, a sort of great bondage between the student and teacher. See, if I am teaching a class, every student sitting in my class must, even if I leave or they leave me, I will have a place in their mind. That sort of a bondage should be there. So the teacher must be loving, must be an embodiment of love and concern. See, my student, he has to become, we do not know what these boys and girls are going to become. They may become so great. So I will add or I will contribute whatever I can do. So that must be the main tool or quality of a teacher in developing children. The earnestness, the great love and concern for the children. So that much about teaching. Then if I am to say so many things, sir, so I am cut. Now
I have a lot of questions also. Anyway, continue, sir.
Let me come to parents. It's an area of great interest for me because my PhD is in child rearing.
Child rearing. Okay, good.
So the problem is mainly in every home. See, the greatest fortune of a child is the home where he is born. The parents he or she is getting. So parenting is the most important thing, utmost importance, parent. So actually children, if I am having a child, it's a gift from God.
Absolutely.
The child. And it is my bounden duty to see that I nurture, develop the child into a fine human being and contribute to the society. Yeah. That is it. So to that effect, lot of problems are there in parenting because I often counsel students for various problems of theirs. See, the thing is, when a child is brought up, of course, the mother is the first teacher of the child, first teacher. Parents are the first teachers. And the love and affection the child gets is very, very important. There also, of course, all mothers are all embodiments of love, no doubt. But the thing is, see, most of the mothers and fathers, once when they get an idea, they have an idea how my child has to become, what he has to become. And they want their child to be first in the class, always getting 100 out of 100 in class. This is the wish of the parent. But all children cannot do that. So the thing is, they start scolding, abusing, sometimes comparing with other children. This is a great disadvantage. we should never, my dear parents, I am addressing the parents, please do not accuse your child all the time, abuse your child all the time. Because I have counseled one student recently, a girl from a very affluent family. She will not get up in the morning. She will not take her breakfast. She will not take bath. She will not get ready. She will not go to school. And after a lot of pressure, parents do all these things and they will bring the girl to the school gate. She will not go inside the school. So they brought the child for counseling. I talked to the child. I said, "What is wrong with you? You're a fine. You're a very good girl. You're very smart, very active. I like you very much." And things like I developed a sort of rapport with her. Then I asked, "What is the problem for you? Why your parents have brought me?" The girl started weeping like anything. She said, "My mom, she doesn't like me. She's always saying that I am bad, I am bad, I am bad, I am bad." ഇതിനെയാണല്ലോ ഞാൻ പ്രസവിച്ചെന്ന് വരെ പറഞ്ഞു. So the child got totally disappointed. Child became totally negative because mother wants the child to be very good. Always in everything she must be first. But the child is, see, for that you have to encourage the child. But they are not encouraging the child. There is no encouragement, no good words, no appreciation. So the child has become totally negative. So then I called the parents first. I said, I think we have to, the counseling is first required for you. And I had to counsel that mother for quite a number of times. And now everything is fine. Now she has become very normal. So parenting, the most important thing is how we treat the child. See, some fathers, they beat children. Beating a child is a crime in developed countries like US and all. It's a criminal act. So we can never give physical punishment to children. Not only, more than that, the humiliation, saying bad words, all these things, always, if at all, see, children, they go wrong sometimes. When the child does something wrong, you have to call the child near, hold him close to your body, look into the eyes of the child and tell, "Mone, what you have done, is it correct? Is it not bad? You are a good boy. You are my dear boy. You must not do that." Likewise, in a very affectionate manner, we have to counsel. The mother can do that, and Amma is always with you, and she has to make the child agree that he will not repeat the same thing. So that's how we have to correct children. This is not they simply abuse. They say so many things. Maybe they are denied of all the privileges. No television. No, not to go out, all restrictions. So this will make the child negative and all sorts of character anomalies will come up. So these are the things where, see, children always want encouragement. Whatever small good thing they do, appreciate. Absolutely. That's the only way. Then child is always stimulated. That stimulation is very much required. And the most important thing is not that every child is given a God-gifted talent, a special talent. Sometimes maybe for studying, sometimes maybe for arts, sometimes maybe for sports. So all these things are there. Or one may be very good at drawing, one may be very good in dance. All these things are there. Or maybe one is very good in communication. But these are all not at all given any importance. Boy wants to play cricket. Father will not allow him to go for cricket. That's enough. That's enough for the total degradation of the child's mind. So the thing is, we have to identify the talent of the child. In our school, we have a program, a talent detection program. The teacher is asked to find out what is your talent. What is the talent in each talent in your class? He note it down and see, he has to study. Of course, that is his prime thing. But the talent also is given opportunity and for you have to develop it. Then naturally the child will have, he will outshine in that area. So that will be a great stimulation for his study also. Absolutely. So that sort of a motivation should be there. So whenever a child is, suppose he is a good singer, how many Yeshudas, how many Chitras are dying in childhood itself? Because you are not allowing to sing. They are not teaching them music. If you give him music classes, he will become an excellent musician. So along with the academic studies, whatever talent is found in children, that must be given special encouragement and special training, so that child will have lot of self-respect and self-image and self-confidence. So that's a very, very important thing. So that's an area where we have to definitely concentrate on what is the gift in my child other than his academic performance. So that should be given some sort of impetus. Then that will definitely create a lot of changes in them. Achievements also will be there.
Absolutely, sir.
Now, I think I will have to talk to the students.
Yeah, very much.
Students, my dear boys and girls, India belongs to you. India's tomorrow is in your hands. So it's your duty to see that you come up in life. See, according to the new national education policy, a lot of changes are coming. The table is being turned in education, and accordingly, it is said by the time the student reaches class 9, he has to plan his life. But I say even 9 is late. It must be 7 or 8. Planning of life. At least by the time the child reaches 9, he must have a hope. He must aspire to become something. That is very, very important. That aspiration to become something. See, there the interest of the child is given importance, not the interest of the parent. Child is not interested in studies. Child is not interested in mathematics and science subjects. But father or mother, they want their child to become an engineer or a doctor. See, we have to identify the talent in the child, and we have to, of course, you can motivate the child for the subject. But if he is still not there, never press him for that. But there are umpteen number of openings. See, career development or career counseling is not done properly in our place. So children, by the time they reach class 9, we must give a career orientation along with the parent. There are umpteen number of careers which are much better than the most coveted careers they think. So that's a very, very important thing. So by the time the child is in class 7 or 8 itself, he has to see the first thing the child has to develop is self-confidence. Child must feel that I am capable, I am good. That sort of a thing should be there. So my dear children, you must have good self-confidence. I am able to do that. I want to reach there. I want to become a scientist or whatever you like. Then you have to have that longing in your mind all the time, and you'll work for that. But one thing is there, you may be interested in cricket or in games, but you cannot spend the entire time for game because you must have basic standard education. So the basic education, there is no holiday for that. You have to definitely give due importance to that. But by the time you complete your +2, you can definitely choose a career of your choice. Of course, while you choose a career also, you have to definitely consult and you have to study what are the openings before me. And in this, the parent has a pivotal role. Parents have to see, they may take there are a lot of experts in career. So they have to read them, listen to them, talk to them, and ascertain what type of career is going to suit my child according to his interests. Then that has to be given preference. Now also in the new national policy, vocational training is coming. Vocational education is really good, because the present day the main problem is unemployment, especially in the field of engineering. Lot of unemployment is there. Likewise, whenever there is a fully qualified people not getting a job, it's a very sad situation. So for that, we have to have vocational education right from early class. I think by class 8 or so it is going to be taken up. So that is definitely a great advantage of this, because we will be to a great extent be able to defeat unemployment in our country if that is done. And another highlight of this NEP is see, in our country, education below 8 years is totally unorganized. Totally unorganized. Anganwadis, KG, it's all not streamlined. So in the new policy, I think that is getting totally systematized. So it's going to be very systematic, and definitely that will have a real impact. And this 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4, that's a very good. And the ultimate purpose we all know is a universal education, especially girls, 100% education. 100% education to girls, that's a good thing. Even disabled, we cannot disregard. And also the main problem in our country is many children, maybe in schools or in colleges, they leave, drop out. So prevention of dropout is also given a lot of importance. So I think dropping out must be taken up as a social problem. So every person in the society must be concerned about why this boy has stopped studies, why this girl stopped studies. That should be there. I think there are many measures to defeat that in that policy. That's a very good thing. And also regarding language learning, early years, I think 3 languages can be introduced. That's a good idea. Children learn language very well in very early ages. If you start teaching language to a illiterate adult, it is difficult. It takes more time. Whereas the child will definitely learn it, pick up early. So that's also that's a really what is a see. We must definitely thank great our Kasturi Ranganji for the wonderful way in which he has. Now coming back to students. So your definite idea must be a very useful person in the community. If you want to become a chartered accountant, you must be the most wanted, the most sought after chartered accountant. That must be your idea. If you are a doctor, you must be the most sought after doctor. And you will be doing, see, after all, at least some people, many people think that my son will study, get many qualifications, get a big job, get a big salary, make a big house, and buy a big car and live in a very lavish manner. That is not the purpose of life. See, we have to be, boys and girls, we have to be useful to others. Wherever you may be, you must be useful to others. Absolutely. And you will be helping others. Absolutely. That philosophy has to be given in all educators and all children. You must also think that I want to do something to all my brethren. That is the most important. Very important. See, a lot of social work is very important. There definitely our children must be involved in all sorts of social activities. It's a very important thing. So schooling, of course, after schooling you will be going for higher studies. Regarding higher studies, good number of individuals in our country are not going for higher studies. So now, according to the new policy, by 2035, 50% of adults must have received higher education. So that way also it is very good, very good. Higher education, because our literacy after +2 is not a happy data we have. So that is also one thing. So I want to encourage all the boys and girls to become very useful citizens, very service-minded people. And we have see, that's why I told you, we always take children to see. We have this time Onam. We went to an orphanage. Children gave lunch to the orphans in the orphanage, and children we collected just like what is it? Book cradle, Pustakat Totil. We ask all children to bring one book to the cradle, and we collect all the books and we take it to an orphanage, and we make a library there where people can read. There are people who can read very well. So once when the student is doing, he thinks that we have to touch the community. That community service is very important. That also we have to imbibe. And the students, boys and girls, you must always think that And they always think that you, of course, your parents are great. You have to have great love and affection. Your parents are everything for you, and it is your bounden duty to see that you take care of your parents and you keep them happy till their last breath. It is a bounden responsibility of every individual to see that their parents. Then, of course, your family, your siblings, all those things. Then, of course, the people, the less fortunate people. That's a very, very important thing. See, God has given so many things to us, but there are many people who are not having even food. Such people we have to definitely help and contribute all the time for their well-being also. And see, there are other areas also. See, I will touch upon another area, agriculture. See, we all live, if there is no agriculture in the world, we'll all be cadavers. So, so we have to develop some sort of interest in every child in agriculture. Agriculture, how to grow, how to cultivate something. See, we have a program, our school has a program that is Enikupam Rendu Maram. That means I will plant 2 trees which will live as long as I live.
Oh.
So likewise, our plan is to plant 1 lakh trees. So something like that. So the greenery of the world is not for better oxygenation of the world. We want more greenery. Absolutely. So we have to not only for greenery, but even for our see now we know we cannot have contaminated. We cannot eat contaminated vegetables in this COVID situation. So let us grow our vegetables. Likewise, children must be given some interest in growing, in plant growing and even vegetable cultivation or even any other. And I always tell them, you plant a tree so that you can always say this is my tree. So that sort of a mindset is to be developed. So agriculture must be given a lot of importance. Then also likewise there are so many other areas also. We have see, we have to sacrifice certain things for others. Organ donation, blood donation, cancer care. There are so many areas where we can see. We took our children to cancer regional cancer center Trivandrum, and children brought they collected some fund, and with that fund we took them, and one child who was suffering from cancer very badly wanted money, so they go there and help the child. So they understand, see, in world such dreadful diseases are there, how we can care, we can protect ourselves, at the same time how we can help others. So likewise, so many things can be done. Definitely, whenever children when they after +2 when they leave the school, they sometimes bring autograph to me. The sentence I write is, wherever you may be, let the world be better on account of you. I tell children, you pray for your better study, your health, your parents' health, and maybe all your fortunes. Don't stop your prayer with that. Pray for every suffering person in the world. Pray for, see now COVID is there. All over the world, people are dying, people are all incapacitated. So you pray, let this dreadful pandemic be gone. God. See, that sort of a universal love for humanity must be there. That is something which is very much required for our children. And another area is religious harmony. Very, very important. Because our country is a very secular country and our school is a highly secular school. We give equal importance to all religions, all festivals. See, when there is a what is it? Some Perunal, when it is there. See, our children, they give that iftar. They all together do it. They rejoice doing it. So likewise, even it's done in all schools, but it must be done in full faith that every religion is equal. That sort of a philosophy we have to, how to respect other religions. The fanaticism must not be there. That is a very important thing. That is an area where we are very particular. There is no preference for one particular caste or one particular religion. So we are always having a very universal feeling towards others, and this habit we are cultivating in children also. There can't be any religious stigmas with regard to that. Now I think you have anything more to ask?
No, I think you're covered in length, and I mean, I wish to inform those viewers here that Sir lives by examples, and if you open his profile, you find him seeking the blessings of Mahatma, and also we find him right sitting in front of Mahatma, right? Mahatma Gandhi is the background, and one reason which I found out to all this is it's a secret. It's not a secret. I can always open out and say, like, Sir was born on 2nd of October. So that 2nd of October is I think that's something, because one of Mahatma continues to be my role model across because I happened to read his book in my 7th standard, Story of My Life, autobiography of Mahatma, along with my dad used to explain to me, because my dad used to follow Gandhian principles those times. So Mahatma continues to be there in my heart always as the forerunner in terms of the role model. And he is born on 2nd of October, and advance, we are just left with just about 16 more days. So advance wishes to you for your happy birthday on October 2nd, right, sir?
Thank you.
And secondly, as you rightly said, that work with truth. All policies, whatever you have been seeking, is all the principles of the Gandhian principles, which I have studied in my school days. And I'm sure if you follow those, the success will follow you. I mean, you don't do anything for the sake of something in return. And that's why I said he's a living model, that he does it, out of his passion, out of his own commitment towards the society. And whatever you do without expecting anything in return, in the field of medicine, in the field of education, the success just keeps following you. And here is a live example of that. And why I say success? Success is not, amassing wealth. It's not that, that you are the richest of the richest in your town. That means you have found success. I don't agree to that. The success comes through various awards and achievements. And he did mention a couple of them as an alumni. He got it from the governor of Kerala. So he values, but I'm sure as an individual, he values every award and every achievement. Like, I won't read it out. He has received the Baba Saheb Ambedkar National Award from the Central Minister, received the Millennium Leader Award from the former Minister of Industry, Sri Kunyali Kuti, received Distinguished Trivandrum Medical College Alumnus Award from His Excellency Arif Muhammad Khan, Governor of Kerala, which he mentioned in the beginning of his talk, received the Best Educational Award instituted by Rotary Club, right? Received Dr. Palpu Foundation Award for Social Activities from HEP, Sata Shivam, the Governor of Kerala, received the Gandhi Bhavan Award, received the Eminent Citizen of India Award from New Delhi, received the Mahatma Gandhi Peace Foundation Award, received the Anjalachin Award for his meritorious service in the field of education. Marthoma Dikos, my God, it goes on, but I'll try and read faster. It's worth hearing to his achievements in his life or a journey of 50 years and beyond. Received the Sevana Ratna Award, received the Chikitsa Ratna Award from Media City, received the Kerala Cultural Award, received the Kala Keralam Award, received the Kala Kaumudi Award, received a certificate of diabetology from the Medical College Kottayam, received a special certificate in gynecology and obstetrics, received a special certificate for respiratory disease care, received certificates in sexology and hypnotism. Sir, I think we all need to, standing ovation. I'm sorry if I stand up, my face will be out of coverage. So still, you consider me, all of us will stand and salute you for your achievements. And we wish such laurels and recognitions come to you in the future years of your service. So my question now is, okay, fine. Explanation on to the educators, to the parents, to the teachers, to the students on various aspects, handling children for the parents, how to go about teaching in the classroom. How do you, as you rightly said during the interview, the first is that the bonding which you need to create between the teacher and the child. And I always believe a teacher must be a parent in the school. She can or he can be a teacher at home. You can teach your spouse and children at home. But when you step into the school, you must be a parent. And that is what I generally say. I do conduct a lot of classes for the teachers. And here is which really touched my heart, that the bonding, without the bonding, right? You talked about your family, your 2 daughters and son is again doctors, right, sir? Two daughters and son, out of 3 of them, all are doctors. I think your son-in-law is also a doctor, if I'm right. It's totally a doctor family. I mean, you see, this all happens because of the good deeds what you have done in your life. Now, my question to you, sir, is, sir, if you look at the last 3 months, among the children below 18, because of the lockdown, we find more than 70 or 78. I don't have the statistics with me. Kerala stands the number 1 in terms of suicides, less than 18 years. And Tamil Nadu is not far away from where I hail from, in the sense, currently I'm in Tamil Nadu. That's the number 2 state. And the third is that the recent, on Sunday, the NEET exam got over. And prior to the NEET examination, 3 students committed suicide because they couldn't face the NEET, or I don't know what is the reason for their committing suicide. It's a sad thing. Even today, the parent, it's something like a suicide. You lose your child because of suicide. It's something irreparable damage in the minds of the parents for the rest of their life. Because a parent cannot forget the loss of a child, especially through this activity of suicide. Sir, you are a doctor. You are an educationalist. Sir, I want you to spend some time educating the children, educating the parents, educating the teachers. This is what is required. It may not be your child, but India cannot afford to lose a child. And who is responsible for it? Sir, because you're a counselor, you're a motivational speaker, you are an educationalist, you're a medical practitioner. And we cannot continue these type of situation in our country, because we need to take care of our children. As you rightly said, by 2035, 50% of our children will go beyond higher education. So what is the reason, sir? Why is it happening, sir? I don't want any parent to cry because of this. I want you to just open up today. If it is the fault of a student or a child, let's educate them. If it is because of the reason, is because of the parent, let's warn them. Let's warn them. And as the sir said, it is not just engineers and the doctors which are available. You have more than 2,800 job opportunities in our country. Explore. And as you rightly said, 9th standard is not the time you need to plan for your future. Let the parents, from what I do, career counseling, I tell them it starts from the 6th standard. You must explore the different possibilities of what job you can pick up, and then decide on that whether he should be this, he should be that, he should be this, he should be that. And let us avoid this suicidal attempt by our children. It's sad to lose. Over to you, sir. I want you to really hit the nail on the coffin. Yes, go ahead.
First of all, in this COVID situation, the most affected ones are the children. Every child is frustrated.
Absolutely, sir.
They want to go to school, they want to learn, they must go to their peers, they want to enjoy. But see, how can we keep children under house arrest for such a long time? So that is one reason. Of course, as you said, the early life suicide is a great menace, because the main reason is the emotional development of the child, the EQ. That has to be taken care of, because from early childhood itself, children must be given some sort of self-confidence and strength in their life. They cannot be simply obeying somebody. See, father says, whatever mother says or father says, he just does that. He must, the individuality of the child is to be considered. You have to recognize the child's individuality, and you have to give some courage and some sort of self-confidence. That is the most important thing. Because of the lack of self-confidence only this is happening. So the emotional development of the child, that is very, very important. I think we have to, wherever there's an opportunity at school level, we have to give parenting classes as to how we can make children emotionally strong.
Absolutely.
Very, very, very important. Very, very important. And whenever there's a frustration, whenever some utter disappointment, immediately ending life. It is such a bad thing, such a wrong thing. You should never attempt that. That sort of an education must be there. And for that, lot of moral education, lot of counseling, everything is, especially whenever the child, parent has to see how my child is. Suppose a child is getting into the bathroom, closes the door, is coming out very late. Imagine there is something wrong with his mind. That's a sign of some mental error. So any such thing is seen, immediately you have to see that the child is taken to a psychologist or a psychiatrist if it is so much required, and see that it is corrected. Or we will say that, oh, he is like that, he's moody. We should not do that. We have to be the parent has to be very vigilant. Any emotional aberration, any sort of abnormal behavior, immediately that is to be noted, and the suitable remedial measures to be taken. That's very, very, very important, because we can't lose young tender lives. Very, very important. But even now, even today, simply people are dying whenever there is it's all because in the childhood also they were not given the proper uplift of their emotional strength. That is the main problem. We have to, I think in school curriculum also we have to include this sort of confidence building exercises or things like that.
So school has a role to play, right? Sir? School also has a role to play.
School alone can do the thing. Yeah, because in schooling, the school time is the right time to develop the child. Whatever minuses are there, that is to be rectified during school itself. By the time he leaves school, he must be a mentally stable person. That's very, very important. And other thing, see, this sort of in adolescence, a lot of problems are there. Adolescence. Now one hazard of this present online, all the students of that age are having the smartphone in their hand. Yeah. It's a very useful, at the same time very dangerous weapon. At that age. So I appeal to all parents, please see that your children use the smartphone in your knowledge. Do not give it when they sleep. They'll sleep with the phone. That'll create a lot of problems.
Yeah, I know.
Sleep time also they are having the phone. That is how many calamities have occurred because of that.
Yeah. Doctor, I'm sorry to interrupt you. You're a doctor and educationist, right? I've heard many of the doctors saying that holding a smartphone is hazardous to health. Sleeping with the phone, keeping in your brain can create a lot of problems for your brain. And it can lead to Alzheimer's, dementia at a later stage. And this is what the doctors say, and this is what you also say. But now, because of this blended learning, future is going to be 3 days in the classroom, 3 days at home. The child is handling this mobile phone. Is it not? Is it correct, doctor? One side you say don't hold the phone, the other side you say hold the phone. How do you manage the situation, doctor?
We don't have any other option. Online teaching is only free. So only thing is the parent has to be very careful, vigilant on that. See, a lot of problems are there. See, there are people who will change the mind of the child, girl or boy, very easily. So that hazard is there. So let them use it in front of others, not secretly. That will be a very useful this thing. All parents must be aware of that. Don't give it totally free for them. Whenever they can enter the room, close the door, and use the smartphone. They will create a lot of.
I agree with you. So, to the parents, who is the reason for this suicide? How do you say? Is it the parent, and how can we stop it, doctor? I mean, you have some thoughts or some enlightenment to all of us, because I feel as a person that it's a great loss to a parent, to all of us, because a child lost is a lost. So, what is your advice? That you said something unusual happening with the child, spot it out, correct? But still it is happening. How do we stop this, doctor?
See, right from the young age, the emotional quotient.
That's one.
The child must not be moved by very sad sights or if at all anything like that, the child needs counseling. We have to empower the child by giving more confidence in him, the strength. Is a boy or girl must be bold and courageous. Our children are not like that. They are timid. They are afraid. If your child is very fearful, then you have to definitely take action, remedial action. And the child must have a great firm belief that I am capable, I can do many things, nobody can put me down. That sort of a confidence, self-confidence, you have to empower. That is the main thing you can do. And whenever there's a symptom of any sort of such weaknesses, immediately we have to handle that problem. Then only we can solve it. And of course, drug is another thing.
That is another
Another hazard. So we have to be absolutely careful that our children are not resorting to such company. It's very, very important.
Sir, what is your thought about this 2020 NEP? Once we frame ourselves into all those initiatives which we take in the next 2-3 years, as you rightly said, by 2035, our children will be in par with the global standards. Our children will be can go freely to US, freely to Canada, Australia, and they can be the best. We have still like Satyam Nadella, you have our Google Pichai. These are all Indians. But with this, will we be able to reach that high global standard in terms of educated children? Over to you, sir.
We have to. Even without that, our boys and girls, our Indians are they are doing wonders all over the world. Is it not? You go to
Even now.
You go to any area, any field, at the height there will be Indians.
I agree with you.
Very capable. They genetically Indians are very, very, very capable. So once when we compulsorily give higher education, we'll definitely get better results. There's no doubt about it. Because our culture, our background, everything is so different from other countries. Our heritage is so great. So definitely we'll be able to excel in whichever field if we prepare our children right from the young age and if we give them higher education also as well.
Sir, I want to ask you because it's already 5:37. I always ask this question finally to most of those guests who come in. We have those 21st century skills like collaboration, we have communication, critical thinking, problem solving, and creative thinking. All those are fine. But when it comes to character, when it comes to citizenship, these two part of it, like citizenship, as you were saying, like giving back something to the society, and the character. I think if, like I was just talking to one of my guests who came last time for this particular show, that in your school times, in my school times, we always to say, if wealth is lost, nothing is lost. If health is lost, something is lost. But if character is lost, everything is lost. And it holds good today. But let me tell you, sir, I keep going around to different schools across the country. When I ask this to the children, if health is lost, if wealth is lost, so where are those good thoughts and good teachings of our times gone today? And character is one very important. I think I always say it has to be freezed and kept, preserved and kept. And citizenship, as you rightly mentioned, it is not that what the country can give it to you. You must always look at that what you can contribute to the nation building. It doesn't happen, as you rightly said. People are all thinking my son should be this. He should have the best of the cars. He should have the best of the houses. He should have the best of the professions. He should amass wealth. He should have so much of all this. But no parent today I have seen, maybe few like you, or little more, maybe numbers across the country, have ever said that, my dear child, it is not how much you amass wealth, how much you will give back this wealth to the society in building the society. Correct. That type of a teaching. Why is it not coming to schools? And I'm sure Sabari institutions would be adopting such ethos, culture, and morals to the children. As you rightly said, you're not teaching the students. You can't teach culture. You can't teach ethos. You can't motivate, it's self-motivation. You take and you participate the children along with you. When you bow down in front of Mahatma, your children will bend down in Mahatma's, right? You can't force the child, hey, that's Mahatma's photo, yeah, bend down. No, you can't do that. So, you are inculcating that, and that would be one of the reasons that Shabari stands as an institution different from the other schools. And I want, because this is all to be noted by the other education institutions and sharing knowledge. There's nothing secret about it. It's not that only Shabari must implement this, take the initiative. Let all schools implement what you have been implementing. And few words from your end on character building and the true citizenship. Over to you, sir. I'm taking much of your time, but it is quite interesting to listen to you. And that is why I'm exceeding my time, but I hope I'm not wasting your time on this. I'm sure about it. If you have some engagement, you have time, right, sir? You can explain this to us, and then if some questions come, I'll keep asking you. Over to you, sir.
See, character shaping, character development, we will have to start in the tender age in the school itself. Very, very, very important. And there must be, see, actually, first of all, we have to indoctrinate, we have to empower the teachers as to how to build it up. That is one thing. Suppose the teacher is always getting angry with there's no emotional control. So there we have to start from teachers, and definitely children must be parents. Parents have to be absolutely careful. What is the character? What is the character of my child? There are a lot of methods by which we can develop a child's character in the finest manner. So that must be given a lot of importance. It's very, very important. That's the right point you have said. Because if character is lost, everything is lost, isn't it? So that I think all educators, all parents and all students, this is very, very important. If your character is fine, you have a good life. If your character is lost, your life will not be, definitely will not be a happy life. And sometimes you may resort to the sort of damages, self-damages. Okay, then. Anyway, thank you for giving me this.
So 1 minute, one last question. I won't leave you like that. Just one last question. Yes. I'm sorry for taking a little, pushing myself ahead.
Yes.
So how do you find time for all this?
Time.
How do you find it? Because if you ask a common man, he says, Malayalathil parayum, Samaya evidepa, where is the time for me? But I have a doubt in myself. Has God given you 48 hours in a day, sir? But in my understanding, God has given everybody 24 hours in a day. But how do you manage time?
Time must not rule us.
Time must not?
Time.
All right. You should rule time. Time should not rule you, right? Is that what you're saying? Wonderful, sir. I think it was a wonderful session. And if you have to say in one sentence or maybe two sentences, what would be the advice to all those viewers here? Because today you ask anybody, go to any school, I say, how many of you want to be successful in life? You'll see cut, so many hands going up. But how many of you want to put that effort? Cut, all the hands will down. Everybody wants to take a shortcut in their life to be successful, which is not going to really happen because you have really, worked through the hardships of life to be the level what you're in. So I want you to just give our children, our educationalists, our teachers, our parents, instead of a shortcut to success, what are the three main factors in your mind? Because success is not, again, for me, success is living your life happy. That's it. Every parent wants to see their child smiling always. That is what my success is. And in your opinion, to be having that smile on the face of the children, what are the three secrets or what are the three principles that you will advise to our viewers? And with this, we will stop our discussions. Over to you, sir.
See, character building is very, very important.
Absolutely.
And of course, you must have a helping nature, very, very important. How I can help another person, that is the most important, very relevant thing. And emotional stability, as you said, to prevent the sort of self-damage and all those things. Emotional stability, in all these things, the contribution of the teacher, the contribution of the parent, their role is very, very, very important. Any harm, anything, anywhere should be rectified then and there. That is the most important thing. And of course, children must have great, as APJ used to say, they must have their big dreams. I always tell boys and girls to think big. They have to think big. They must not think small. Think big, so that I want to do something great to the people. So that sort of a philosophy, that sort of a mindset should be there. And another thing, all the time they must have a positive mindset. Positive mindset. Mainly, the positive mindset must be there in parent and in the teacher. Suppose a teacher who's not at all smiling, who is always having a morose face, then children are very unfortunate.
Smile is contagious. Smile is contagious. The more I smile, you smile.
Smile is the sunshine of life. So,
yeah, absolutely.
I had a guru earlier, Dr. Nair, a great man. He used to say, when you appoint a teacher in the interview, if the teacher is not smiling, ask her to go out. Teacher must have a smile fixed on her face, a very pleasant face, a very pleasant mindset, very positive mindset.
Absolutely.
That's very, very important. And I think our parents also must have the same thing. They must be very happy, very pleasant, and not scolding. Always see, touch is very important. Some see fathers, they won't touch their children. See, you have to embrace the children, of course.
Yeah.
In the COVID situation, we have restrictions. Otherwise, we have to have. See, touch has got a great importance.
Yes, absolutely. I'm with you on that.
Look into the eyes of the child with affection, love, and talk. Very, very important. That will have great effect. So that's a very, very good question you have asked. The first is a positive mindset. Definitely, not only a positive mindset, a pleasant face, and optimism.
Yeah.
Only good things are going to happen.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Never a sadistic thought at all. And that sort of young children must come up. All the schools and all the teachers and all the parents, it's all our bounden duty to see that we bring up children into fine citizens who are going to be useful and helpful to the world. That's
absolutely. So, absolutely, as rightly said by Dr. Jayakumar, think big, dream big, and that's one of the reasons that we have the big talk with Dr. Jayakumar, VK Jayakumar, and I'm really honored to be listening to you for almost about 1 hour and 17 minutes, and it was indeed an eye-opener for all of us. And we are sure that many of us who have been listening to you for the last 1 hour and 17 minutes would follow your guidance directions that you have given us, so that all of us become successful in our life and keep the smile on you. And as you said, the smile is contagious, and the more you smile with more number of people, that more number of people will make more number of people smile, and that is what is all about. Life is all about. So, on behalf of Amrita Vishwavidyapeetham and blessings of a Chancellor Amma, right? I'm sure, sir, your service to society has certainly made a lot of difference and dent, and I hope that people follow you and develop a nation that is Bharat, who is second to none in the globe. Thank you so very much, sir, for being with us.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Wish you all good luck and blessings of Amma.
God bless, sir. God bless. Thank you so much. Bye-bye, sir. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.